Food for the Body and the Soul, Episode 2.
Hello. We're back again with our show, Food for the Body and the Soul. I'm Britt.
I'm Rita.
And what we like to do before every episode is have a drink and a chat.
That's right.
So, today we are drinking Decoy Brut Rosé. You know I love it. A little sparkling. A little bit for me, and then I like to put a little fruit. So we got strawberry.
Yeah,
and
you can see obviously.
You can see we really like it.
We were partaking at another time.
Cheers to the episode.
Episode 2.
I like it. I like it a lot. Okay, so this episode is great because, as you know, every episode we do food for the body, which is cooking. Food for the soul, which is inspiration, and then food for thought, which is thought leadership. So I love the recipe that you're going to see today. Okay. Shrimp and sausage boil for 2.
Right. So this is a summer recipe for me. When I think about people coming over and 10, 20, 30 people, the shrimp boil is perfect, right? And so Britt adjusted this to 2 people. I'm inspired to cook. I'm inspired to have good food. I'm inspired to share food with people. So again, food for the body.
All right, so moving on to food for the soul, inspiration.
Correct.
So this episode, we want to do something a little different. One of Mom's favorite things in the world are flowers and doing flower arrangements.
Correct.
You want to talk about?
Yeah. It's really about you doing something special for you. And it doesn't have to be something really expensive. It's what do you enjoy? I am giving myself the gifts to myself that I enjoy, right? And I'm not waiting on anybody else to do that for me. It's like affirmation. I'm not waiting on you to do that for me. It's like Miley Cyrus's big hit. I can buy myself flowers. I can buy myself flowers. And finally, food for thought. Yeah. So our thought leadership section, we want to talk about brand. We know it's a hot topic, and you talk about brand a lot as far as like how you look and what you wear and how you show up to work, but Mom does a lot of executive coaching and empowerment coaching around
Food
many
for the
topics,
Body and the
including
Soul,
brand.
Episode 2.
But also, I'm the CMO of our company,
Right,
dreambiggernow.today, and so I'm thinking about brand. Like while I'm asleep, I'm thinking about brand. So we want to talk about how do we perceive individual personal brand, and then how do we strategize for our company brand and our show brand and all that stuff.
And so we hope that gives you food for thought, food for you individually. Do you have the brand of yourself that you want locked and loaded?
Right and tight.
And if you are an entrepreneur,
Food for the Body and the Soul,
does your
Episode 2.
company name and everything you're doing line up? Is it in lock sync with the messaging and the purpose and the passion of what you're doing? And we'll talk about our story.
Yeah, so we're going to sit here and finish up this lovely Brut Rosé.
I'll continue to drink and we can continue to chat. I hope you enjoy.
I love the show.
I love it.
Cheers.
Subscribe.
Oh yeah, look, I love how
I'm marketing, baby.
I should have been like, subscribe below.
Look,
okay.
I'm just helping you out.
Hey, what are you making for dinner tonight? Will it be delicious? Will it be super easy to make but look 5-star restaurant quality? Will it effortlessly feed a crowd and also impress unexpected guests? Will it be a fresh take on healthy favorites or some serious comfort food? If this is what you're looking for, Rita and Britt have the perfect cookbook for you. As seen on TV, Meals Before the Madness has 35 fun and easy recipes to bring you joy all year round. Buy it on Amazon today. For this recipe, you will need 2 lemons, 1 for cooking, 1 for garnish, 3 to 4 cloves of garlic, peeled and smashed, 1 large onion cut into large pieces, as well as 1 pound of red potatoes quartered, a package of beef sausage cut into pieces, 2 to 3 ears of corn cut into thirds, a pound of large shrimp deveined, peel optional, half a stick of unsalted butter, a third of a cup of seafood seasoning, half a teaspoon of salt, half a teaspoon of black pepper, 2 tablespoons fresh chopped parsley plus more for garnish, and a fresh baguette or, hot dog buns. Either way, it'll be delicious if it's bread and butter toasted in the oven. This is the final product. Now let's get to the kitchen.
Welcome back to Food for the Body and the
Soul. There you go.
There we go. And I'm Britt.
And I'm Rita.
And we're going to cook because that's what we do.
Yes, that's right.
Okay, so what are we cooking today, Mom?
We are doing a shrimp boil.
Which I love. A good shrimp, sausage, corn boil.
Right. And so what's so special about this is whenever I do this and think about it, it's in the summer, right? It's in July. I mean,
outside.
You're outside.
Picnic.
Right. And so you're boiling all the stuff outside and you've got, potatoes, corn, sausage, shrimp. And it's an outdoor summer thing, but the truth of the matter is that you can cook this all year long because these ingredients are available. So Britt adjusted this recipe for two, maybe three.
We're making a shrimp boil for two because there's two of us right here.
That's right.
And this, I was inspired by this because, well, one, there's a big picture of it on my vision board because I love to eat and I love being with people who love to eat. But Mom was out of town on a trip and I was like, what am I going to eat? We had sausage in the freezer and corn in the freezer and shrimp in the freezer and I didn't want to go to the store and I was like, why can't I do a shrimp boil in the winter?
That's right.
So you can make it for one, you can make it for two, you can make it for 20 and you just adjust how much of the ingredients.
Well, the point is that this is very easy.
Oh yeah.
And we're going to do it inside.
Okay, let's do it.
Okay.
So Mom, why don't you get the pot?
Okay.
And I like to think about this with each step. You know how you're always like reading recipes, like what was next? What was next? I like recipes where I don't have to read. It just like it internally and inherently makes sense.
That's right.
So the first step is you fill this pot with water.
I'm a sous chef.
You are sous chefing. This is new for me.
Correct.
Okay, so in the first step, we have this grouping of things. You've got one whole onion that I cut into eighths, and we've got 3 or 4 cloves of garlic that have been smashed, and then I'm going to quarter this lemon. So that's group one: onion, lemon, garlic. Let's go ahead
and
and
I'm
quarter.
just sous chefing water.
Sous chef away. Some people like 2 lemons. I don't like things that get too sour. It's weird for me, so I'm using 1 lemon.
Okay.
So let me know when you got enough water in there.
I'm going to do a little bit more because I'm going to be about halfway through. This is going to boil too. There we go. There's the water.
Perfect.
Okay.
So I'm going to put the lemons in. Very simple. We put the onions in.
And the other thing about, the recipes that we're using for the body and soul is that we're trying to do recipes that don't take a lot of seasoning or, thinking, right?
Or mental capacity.
Mental capacity, that you don't have to be a cook to cook. Mm-hmm. So this is why all this is very easy and laid out. Okay.
So lemon, garlic, and onion, and then we've got seasoning.
Right.
So most people use Old Bay, but at the time they didn't have Old Bay. But what do we always have, Mom?
We always have Emerald. We always have Emerald
Are
seasoning.
you gonna do it or am I?
You can do it.
Bam!
Bam, baby. Okay.
This happens to be my initial. So we're gonna start with 1/3 of a cup of Emerald's essence.
Right.
So pretty.
Yeah.
And then just make sure we have enough salt and pepper. We've got half a teaspoon of salt and half a teaspoon of pepper.
Yeah, that's kind of spicy. Because Old Bay seasoning is really salty, so we're pumping it up. But you can just use Old Bay too, and we'll have this in the cookbook. Okay.
For sure.
All right.
And
so we're ready.
If you could put that on the stovetop.
You bring it to a boil.
And we're gonna bring it to a boil.
Okay.
Then,
so I'm gonna get that.
while she's working on that, this is really easy because I was like, what order? Does everything go in together? Some things cook faster than others. This is how you remember it. You half. So, once that water comes to a boil, you put in the potatoes. We use little red potatoes. And that's 12 minutes. Half of 12 minutes, 6 minutes on the corn and the sausage. Half of 6 minutes, 3 minutes on the shrimp. Now, we're going to try this for real. If it doesn't work, I'm going to be copy-pasting. We're going to teach you something else. But
Magic.
for now,
Magic.
half.
Right, and you can put more potatoes in there.
Yeah.
So again, all this is adjustable. Mm-hmm. I like a lot of sausage and shrimp. And then we've got this one pot that's going to capture everything. So you've got to also be conscious of how much is going in the pot. So now we're going to boil. So put the potatoes in.
And we will start the clock.
Yeah.
Okay, we're testing out our half theory. It's been 10 minutes, and these are baby
And
potatoes.
these are baby. We normally have bigger ones. Yeah, it's
That's
ready.
fork tender?
Yes, fork tender.
Okay, so
We're going to drop it down.
we're going to drop it down for the babies.
Right, for the babies, because we only had these kind of potatoes. Okay, so next, we're going to
Next up, corn and sausage.
put the corn and sausage. You ready?
Oh yeah, look at that. Looking good. Plop.
Okay. I mean, how easy is this?
It's too
I
easy.
mean, you know, it's not like this is beef sausage because we like that, the smoked beef sausage. But you can use any kind of sausage you like. But the beef sausage gives, I like the texture and it gives the smokiness to it. So then we'll do that, and
And in just a few
in a
minutes,
few minutes we'll dump the
we'll
shrimp
dump in the shrimp.
And we're not even going to peel the shrimp because that's the fun of doing this. You get to peel them while you eat them. So I mean, this is not complicated. You don't even have to do anything. This is like awesome.
All right.
You can do this. So everything is in here now
Wow.
except for the shrimp.
Beautiful.
Okay.
Okay, shrimp's next.
Tell me when you're ready. Shrimp o'clock.
It's shrimp o'clock. 3 minutes, baby.
Yeah, and this is we just did a pound because it's just us. It's just two
Exactly.
people. But if you had 3 people, you put more. So now everything is chilling like a villain. And then so now we just wait for the shrimp to cook. When they get pink and ready, it's ready.
Hey, what's happening,
So
Captain?
you see the shrimp are pink and curling.
Yeah.
The shells are still there.
Getting in the
on
hot
them.
tube.
And then we've got maybe 30 seconds or so.
30 seconds.
Okay.
It's time for butter, baby.
Okay, what you gonna do?
So first, we've got the butter that's going to be melted on top of the shrimp boil. But you know the bottom's got to get butter too. So I like to take just a little bit of butter here. This is salted. And, just put it on the bottom. Okay. So we make sure that the bottom is covered in butter. Next, butter. Now, we don't always have French bread.
Not in the
And
snow.
you might not either. But you know what we usually have? Hot dog buns.
hamburger buns.
So we're going to take these little bunny buns and we're just going to broil them, and we're kind of making a little crusty toast, and we'll put a little butter on our buns. All right. And then last but certainly not least, we are going to pop that in the microwave, melt the butter, add some more emerald essence and some parsley, and
We're good to go.
we're good to go.
Okay.
All right, the fake baguette, also known as hot dogs, going in the oven
Okay.
on broil. So
Which
this
will
is
take
like 2 minutes.
a couple of minutes. And then you're gonna make this extra saucy butter
Sausage
thing.
sauce. So I'll take a little bit of essence. Bam!
Bam, baby.
And then
Some fresh parsley.
And I'll mix that up first just to
That
see
we
how I
also
feel.
had in the fridge from a week. Because we always have fresh
We
herbs.
always save the herbs.
Save them. Come in and come in.
Okay,
Just
yeah,
see
come in.
that.
A little bit easier. And I'll take a little taste just to make sure.
Okay. Good?
All right, that's good. I'm gonna add a little salt and pepper.
Okay.
And then I like we'll do a little bit of this because you want it to be nice and yummy right when the boil comes out hot.
All right. Okay.
Okay, thanks. Okay. It's game time.
Okay.
Fresh out the oven.
Right. And so you could use, obviously, French bread, baguettes, Italian bread, whatever you're into. But I mean, any kind of bread you can put in the oven and broil and cut that into pieces. How good does that look? Okay.
Amazing, amazing.
Gonna drain all this stuff.
Yep. Okay. Here comes the boil. Hot. See all this butter?
It's just, we drained it. It's all cooked, right? So
It's all
where do
cooked.
we want it to land?
Into the butter. Let me assist. You got it? You got it?
You got it. I
Make
got
sure-
it. I got what I'm doing. The question is, you got what you're doing. 'Cause-
Yeah, I got it.
Okay, you got that?
Okay.
All right, so we got butter on the bottom.
We got butter on the bottom, we need butter on the top.
Okay, got lemons.
You know, I probably should taste the sausage just to make sure.
Well. The answer is.
That's yummy.
So we got the
Oh,
potatoes.
that's so pretty.
Okay, so now what's left? The special
Butter.
more butter.
Okay. So,
Okay, you ready?
smells good. Okay, here we go. More butter.
More butter.
Ooh.
That puts all like that corn. All the corn should have some of that.
Okay. Perfection. Now you're gonna mix it up, and we'll do a little extra parsley on top. That looks beautiful. Look at that. We take the lemons out probably.
Yeah, so how easy
It's so easy.
is that?
You could do this, and you could have 90% of the ingredients in your freezer. So if someone gets them over, and you're like, "Hey, you know what? Let's just do a shrimp boil. Let's just make it happen."
Yes, what are we doing today? This out. We'll use
Let's
some
take the
fresh
lemons
lemons.
out.
Let's take that out.
And you can do more lemons for garnish. We just, there's only so much lemon I really want to participate in. There's one right there.
Another lemon, and then any of the bay leaves because you don't want to eat that.
Right.
So we're going to take out the lemon. The stuff you're not going to eat. Everything else stays, right?
Yep.
I think
And
we're ready.
then there's probably one more lemon because there were 4 pieces.
Here it is.
Found it.
Found it.
And again, we said half, half, half. So, you got to think about how big are your potatoes and how are they cooked all the way through. So we ended up doing 10 minutes and then 5 minutes and 3 minutes, but we'll tell you in the recipe you can easily adjust to, you just make sure that at each stage the food is cooked, and then you're right as rain. So let's sprinkle on a little more parsley. Ooh, fancy, herbaceous, and delicious. And then, I'm gonna make a plate.
You make your plate. I'll do
Okay,
mine
you
later.
make your
What you
plate.
gonna do?
'Cause I gotta eat.
I'm eating.
This is absolutely beautiful.
Okay.
Yeah, I might take a picture. I'm gonna take a picture of it. Cause I know we're filming, but we're also human. And beauty must be captured. Okay, it's all about me. Don't get in my way. I'm making myself a plate today. Ah, yes. Ah, yes. Some sausage, some shrimp, lots of sausage. I might just need a couple corns, What's a growing girl?
I'm mad at you.
Make sure you get some of these potatoes. And I wouldn't want these shrimp to feel lonely and unloved. And hey, garlic. That also seems right to me. And some onion. Okay, that's amazing. And then I'm gonna take this. I'm gonna take this here. I'm gonna take that there. And
I'm gonna help you
you're
out.
gonna help me out. I'm gonna taste this bread for you because you can't. That's nice.
You like it?
Yummy. Okay, thank you.
Are we done?
We're done. And that is a shrimp sausage boil inside for 2
In the winter
for you.
for you. Join us next time.
Oh yeah.
Do you desire access to 40 plus years of corporate acumen and executive level advice at your fingertips? Are you lost in the sauce at work and looking for a quick read to refresh your mindset on the keys to corporate success? If you can relate, get yourself a copy of Rita and Britt's best-selling book in mentoring and coaching called Own Your Phenomenal Self, a guide on character, success, and leadership. Dynamic mother-daughter duo Rita and Britt travel the country speaking and doing workshops to help people at every stage in their career find both joy and success. Now you can benefit from their simple but exponential tips. Get a copy of Own Your Phenomenal Self on Amazon today.
Okay, so what are we doing today? What are we doing with these flowers?
flowers at home gives me joy. And so I want to inspire and be inspired. And so flowers, the beauty of them, you know, the creativity of whatever's fresh, making something new all through the house is what I love to do. So this will go on the living room table.
Yeah, what I really love about all the flowers is that, you know, it's like, it's not just for a special occasion. It's not like, oh, people are coming over and make flowers. It's like, well, look, these flowers are dead, get new ones. These, we want something beautiful for the week, let's do it.
Yeah, and it's like, to me, you know, it's like having good china, but you never use unless you have like big company coming. And so then you have all this great china, and then what is that? I don't know, 4 or 5 times a year? Well, if I have great china, I want to use it all the time.
Mm-hmm.
You know, and the same thing about, I mean, I treat my jewelry that way. If I have something special, I don't want to save my jewelry for special occasions. I want, when I wear my jewelry, for it to be special. And so it's a completely different way of looking at things. And so I don't do this for other people. I do flowers for me.
And me.
And you. And other people benefit when they come around. So that's true.
Now here are our 5 tips for fabulous flowers. Tip number 1, cut stems at an angle, which allows the flowers to absorb more water and last longer. Tip number 2, mix and match those colors.
Yeah, I always like how you mix and match the colors.
Mm-hmm.
Mixing and matching really elevates the arrangement and makes you look like a pro. Tip number 3, select unique vases to switch it up. Tip number 4, add some candles to the mix.
And so what is the first thing I do whenever we get back to Nashville? I go to the store and I get flowers. So this is every day. And that's the truth.
Want to have a 5-star experience every day. So we always have candles, and we always have lighters, and we always have flowers, and we always have food in the fridge and the freezer.
Because I'm not ever going to be hungry and not have food in this house that I want.
Ta-da!
Make flowers for
All
the
the
whole
rooms.
house. There you go.
Love it.
Now this one's my favorite. Add an LED light under the vase for special effects. Enjoy! I want you to stop and think about your day today. Have you asked yourself, what brings me joy and happiness? What is one simple thing I could do to brighten my own day? What is one affirmation that I need to hear today? If you are feeling disconnected from your purpose and far from your passion, Rita and Britt's book of paintings, poetry, and affirmations has exactly what you need to reignite your imagination and spark creativity in your everyday life. Together, dynamic mother-daughter duo Rita and Britt travel the country teaching the importance of affirmations, the power of vision boarding, and the life-changing story behind their book, Spoken Art Too Brave to Back Down. Get your copy on Amazon today.
Welcome back to Food for the Body and the Soul. We are now in the Food for Thought section, which is always about thought leadership.
That's right.
So today we want to talk about something a little bit different. We want to talk about how do you define brand?
Yeah.
And there are multiple ways to do that. So mom has a perspective, I have a perspective. Talk to me, Mom, about your personal brand. I know you do empowerment coaching and executive coaching on this topic, but talk to me. What's the personal brand?
I do. And so in this segment, we're going to talk about personal and professional. And so on personal branding, what I tell people, coach people, and what I do myself is branding to me is about what are the 5 to 7 things that you want people to say about you when you're not in the room. Because that's what branding is. Whether you are doing that intentionally or unconsciously, people will have an opinion about who you are, how you show up, and what they're going to say about you when you're not in the room. And so brand specifically to me is if I want you to think that I'm smart, that I'm confident, that I have integrity, that I'm a team player, that I'm ready for promotion, that you don't want to have a party without me. So how
like a slip
that I'm a fashionista.
Okay, yes.
Then how do I wait for you to say that, or do I help you to get there to say that about me?
I love when you say brand is what people say about you when you leave the room.
That's right.
So everybody's got a brand. You're always like, what's that guy's name? The guy who's always late to the meetings.
Yeah.
Look.
Yeah. Who is that person that sucks out the air? Oh my goodness, they're here and they're, oh my goodness, they just love to hear themselves talk. I mean,
right.
we all agree, right?
Or I'm like, who's that person? What's her name? She's so fashionable, right? And so everyone has a brand because we're all we meet a lot of people, we have a lot going on, and our brains are always trying to associate something simple with what we're experiencing and who we're meeting. So you have a brand. But is it the brand that you want? So Mom, how can what if I don't know? Like I want my brand to be sophisticated, but also a go-getter, ambitious. If I want that brand, but I don't know if other people perceive me that way, should I go up to someone and say, hey, what do you think about me? Or like, how do you know that you're creating the brand and it's working?
Well, I think, when I coach people, the first thing I tell them to do is like, okay, let's define what it is that you want people to say. And then when you tell me what you want people to say, then I want you to give me examples of people that you think are like that, right?
Yeah.
This is a person I think is really confident. My question is why?
Okay.
And so then when you tell me the why, then I'm going to ask you, then what do you need to get there for this why to happen? Because if you tell me they're intelligent because they're well read, they can strike up a conversation about anything, they can show up on the spot and talk intelligently, they always seem to know about current events, and that's why I think they're intelligent. And I'm going to say, then you need to be on top of, you need to be on top of current events. Are you reading every day? Are you looking at the top 5 to 7 things? Say CNN top 5. What are you looking at? Are you ready to be this person?
Right.
So I'm going to flip that back around to you, because for you to describe that to somebody, then you know what it looks like, and you should know where you're short. Yeah. So that's how I would do that. Okay. So now I'm going to flip it to you.
Yeah.
So now I want to talk about corporate brand, because you have a personal brand, but we're in business. We have a company, and a lot of you do too. Yeah. And then you work for a company. A lot of you do. If you're not self-employed, you're working probably at a corporation. So Brittany's background is in marketing and business. So why don't we talk about corporate brand, because we just did all this for our company.
Yeah, I love talking about branding and marketing because that's my background. That's what I studied. And I'm the CMO of our company, Dream Bigger Now Today. So what we thought might be fun for this food for thought is, how do you think about branding when it's a company or an entity and not a person? How can you have that same emotional attachment? Like, oh, I just love, like we love going to Target. I'm saying like Target all day. If they had mimosas, I would never leave. I'd be there right now. Right. So, but you have that positive association and brand recognition, and then you buy more things. So how do you create that with this inanimate object called a company? Right. So I'll tell just a brief story of our company, which we started back in 2018, 2019 when we retired. Yeah. And the name of the company became Rita P. Mitchell LLC, which, is maybe great for taxes, but not great for...
I was advised to do that because I was starting a company based on my 40-year financial services career, and everything was about Rita P. Mitchell.
You're a retired executive.
And so it should be Rita P. Mitchell LLC.
Yes.
Yeah, okay. Right. That's cool for a minute.
That's cool for an individual. That's cool if Rita P. Mitchell was just going to do Rita P. Mitchell things forever, then I guess that works because it's her brand, it's her name.
That's right.
But we're Rita and Britt.
Right.
And really, Mom, your vision for our company is that it's a legacy for me and for my future generations, and it's bigger than you.
Right. I mean, that is why I created the company. I retired. I mean, I didn't need to do this. I created a company so you would have an opportunity to build a business. Well, I don't know how we're going to build a business when it's Rita P. Mitchell LLC, because when it's no longer Rita P. Mitchell,
they hire Rita P. Mitchell and Rita Mitchell's not
there
there
anymore. The company's gone.
Right.
I mean, that never kind of made sense to me. But what we landed on the essence of our company, which is live your best life
by living your biggest
by living your biggest dream. When we landed on that, then we landed to dream bigger now today, because it's urgent. You know, it's urgent and important. So it is about today.
Yeah.
And so, you know, you're talking about corporate brand, and so it's just, we wanted a brand that when you see McDonald's, you know, you see the rings,
golden arches.
The golden arches. You know it's McDonald's. When you see the Nike sign, you know it's Nike. Just
swoosh,
do it.
the Nike
It's
swoosh.
swoosh. When you see the Target sign and the Target as a bow and arrow target, I don't need them to say anything. I see the red and white circle. I know it's Target. And so we wanted to land on a brand that hit our company. Dream bigger now today. Well, you know, when I look up in the sky and I see the moon and I see the sun and I see the ocean, the stars, all these things, which are bigger than any of us, and I look up there, then that emphasizes dream bigger now. And when you go from the crescent moon to the big moon, the fullest dream is the biggest moon.
Right.
And there's a process. And so we want to help people go through the process. Here, start here, get here, dream bigger now today. And so that's the process.
Yeah, and that's a great point around the symbolism when you see it and then connecting the dots, and that takes time.
It does.
So right now our logo has dream bigger now today, and it has the phases of the moon, and we have a smaller logo that's just the crescent to the full, and it says dream bigger, and hoping to impart that understanding of like quickly seeing how to dream bigger.
Yeah.
So when we talk about, we say our company Dream Bigger Now Today is about living your best life by living your biggest dreams. What is one of our biggest dreams, Mom?
One of our biggest dreams is to have a TV cooking travel chat show, right?
Yes.
And that is what we're doing now.
Right. So you are a part of our show right now.
And
food for the body and the soul.
Right.
And so what I want to say about that is that, you know, I guess best practice would say we do the Dream Bigger Now Today show. But we don't want to do that. Like, we have a lot of different passions. We have a lot of different points of view. Food for the body and the soul, that name was important to us because, like Mom says, you have to eat every day.
Yeah.
And if you have to feed your body, you know what, you also have to feed your soul.
Right.
And so this developed in parallel to the company, but it's its own entity.
Right.
So from a branding perspective, that's a lot of stuff. You got Rita P. Mitchell LLC, you've got this Brittany person over here, you got Dream Bigger Now Today, you got the moon.
3 books.
You got these books.
They don't seem related, but they are.
One book's about corporate success, the next one's art and affirmations, and the third one's a cookbook. Like, well, how many hobbies do you want to have? But dreaming bigger, talking about, you know, we didn't just create a cooking show. We have cooking, we have inspiration, we have thought leadership, because all of this is around being a whole person. And this show, the tagline of the show is Rita and Britt's reminders that good things are happening to you today. Because again, when you believe in affirmations and you believe something good has happened, and even if the only good thing in your control is making a nice meal for dinner, that's enough.
Yeah.
And so as you can see, like, this all starts to filter back into the overarching brand, which is Dream Bigger Now.
Yeah, and I'm going to go back to the books because I want to do. So what we do is really help people harness their individual power, right, to live their best life by living their biggest dreams. The first book, Own Your Phenomenal Self, is about you are enough, you have enough, you were created with enough to have the corporate success that you want, right? So we're empowering you to be your best self. The second book, which Brittany said was, it's our art, your art, my poetry, but it's about it's really about not getting lost in someone else's sauce and not losing the essence of your joy of what makes you happy. If it's art, if it's whatever it is, not losing the essence. And then the cookbook is one of our biggest dreams, right? So we're walking the talk. We're writing, we're making our own show because we're making our dream come true, right? I mean, we want you to support, but we're doing this, right? It's on my vision board. check it off, people. And
Yeah.
so they all come together, and then circling back to brand, you know, again, what are we putting out? What are you putting out as a company? Whatever you're putting out as your brand, as your title, as your name, can I get it when I hear the name? Do I get it?
Mm-hmm. Does it click?
Does it click? Do
Does
I
it make
land
sense?
on it? Does it make sense? On the personal brand, when I walk out the room and people are deciding whether I get promoted or if you offered me a board position or you want me to work in a think tank, whatever that is, when I walk out of the room and people close the door and the decision makers in the room, are they saying what I'm selling?
Yeah.
And if not, there's work for me to do. So that's how we tie it all together.
I like that, and I want to layer on to what you said. So we have our company, we have our brand, and we have how you interact with us online. But you also interact with us in person. You know what I'm talking about? Like how we look, how we talk, how we dress. Now, to be honest, we do dress alike by accident most of the time. But I've noticed that people like it. So sometimes we dress alike on purpose. Sometimes we wear Calvin Klein on purpose, and then we make videos about trying to get a sponsorship. Wink.
Because we're,
Yeah.
you know what? Because
What?
we have a brand that's a mother-daughter duo.
Right.
So we are conscious of thinking about how do we show up as a mother-daughter duo.
Right.
Again, going back into the brand of what you want people to think about you when you walk out the room. So we're pushing that forward.
And
right?
so sometimes, you know, mom will get a speaking opportunity and we try to flip it into both of us speaking. Or I'll get an opportunity and we try to flip into both of us. And that doesn't always happen. That doesn't always make sense. We are individuals with a different backgrounds and skill sets. But where we can be the dynamic duo, we try to put that together because that is part of the brand.
Right, exactly.
Yeah. So then the last thing I'll talk about with the brand is, unless you had anything else that you wanted to talk about. So I have this new analogy that I'm like really interested in. Because, you know, our brand's Dream Bigger Now Today. We've got the moons, we've got the universe. It's very exciting. And I love stars and constellations. I have one of those apps and you look at it and you can see all the, you know, there's Orion and all this stuff. It's very cool. So I liken what we're doing from a marketing perspective to building a constellation instead of trying to just hang stars. I feel like the first few years of our company, from a marketing perspective, my strategy was like, hang as many stars as possible. We're on TV, there's a big star. We wrote a book, there's a big star. We spoke at a conference. We did a podcast, there's a star. It's like a star is a star. How many stars? How many big posts or big opportunities? And it's just about getting the next opportunity and posting the opportunity and then getting another opportunity.
Right.
And that is exhausting, and you're not really building something foundational and sustainable. So now what we've come up with is, how do we build a constellation where when you look at all these stars, when you step back, you go, oh, that's Orion's belt.
That's Orion's belt.
And there are his hands and feet.
Yeah.
That's beautiful.
Yeah.
And there's another constellation. And so with Dream Bigger Now Today, we want to make sure we continue to emphasize that we're helping you live your best life by living your biggest dreams. And then everything we do is like a pillar off of that. So if it's food for the body and the soul, everything we talk about is still supposed to fill your cup so you can be inspired, so you can get rest.
Inspire
Today, so you can
something you can do today.
Live your dreams. When we write another book, that book will also filter into living your best life or your biggest dreams or the urgency of today.
Right.
Even when we do on the corporate side of things, it's about urgency. It's about today. It's about having a great day at work. How does all of this tie together? Where when we post or when we show up somewhere or when we share a strategy, it all makes sense as one big picture.
That's right. It should be the Nike whoosh.
Yes.
Just do.
And you should be able to look at it and go, oh, that looks like Nike. Oh, that looks like Calvin Klein. Oh, that looks like Rita and Britt.
Yeah.
Oh, that look, you know, like it
That's
should.
what we're working on.
Right. It should have such recognition and be so internalized that, oh, are you wearing J-Lo? Because that's what it's. I mean, you know, you should feel so connected to it, and so it's so clear that it's like that.
Yeah. So to conclude, I want to get back to this is food for thought, right? And so what we want to leave you with is thinking about your personal brand And if you are an entrepreneur or have aspirations to be an entrepreneur, the same thought process as to what is your company brand, right? And so those are the things to think about and take in the context of what we've been talking about.
What do you want people to say about you when you're not in the room? And what do you want people to say about your company or your brand?
In one cohesive thought.
Yes.
So we got 5 to 7 things over here. And personally,
Yeah.
on the company brand,
Yeah.
it's one cohesive thought,
Right.
right? And that shows up in the branding for your entrepreneurial desire.
Great. Well, we hope you enjoyed this segment on thought leadership and this episode of Food for the Body and the Soul with Rita and Britt.